everybody. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about what it's like to be an introverted person who's going out doing craft shows, craft fairs, art festivals. And it's definitely more of a challenge if you're introverted. An extroverted person has a much easier time talking to people and meeting new people. And so we know really a lot more goes into capturing the nuances of an introverted person, and it's definitely a spectrum. There's different degrees of introversion, but in a nutshell, there's some things that kind of loosely define introversion. One of those is that you prefer time to yourself and you prefer working alone. Another is that you can feel really drained after social interaction, particularly prolonged periods of social interaction, in which case you need solitude to kind of recharge and get back to yourself. And we know that doing a craft show requires a lot of social interaction and can leave you feeling actually more drained than our extroverted friends. Another thing is that introverts are often very reflective. They're kind of ruminators, and often these thoughts can be turned inwards, which in turn can make you very self-aware. And this can be perceived as like shyness, and it's not really shyness per se, but it can make craft shows very difficult and actually anxiety producing, because maybe you're always second guessing what you've said or what you need to say, and just that sort of over self-awareness, that hyper self-awareness can be an issue. So how then, as an introvert, do you go out and effectively represent your brand and represent your product at an event where it probably favors, to some degree, an extroverted person? Well, these are some of the strategies that I use. So what we're going to look at is some mental strategies. These are actually strategies that allow you to kind of get in that frame of mind where you'll feel motivated to then step out of your comfort zone. So number one, you have to look at the craft show as a marketing tool. It is just like advertising. I mean, you're obviously there to make sales and you hope to come out profitable from the show, but dollar amounts that are sold right there at the show are not the only marker for success. This is an opportunity for you to market your brand to a whole new group of people potentially than what you're able to reach through your online platforms. So think of it in terms of that, and who better to market your brand effectively than you? So another strategy to use is to look at the craft show as an opportunity to educate your customer. There's really only so much information that you're going to be able to put in a product description on your Etsy shop or on your website, and truthfully, there's only so much information that your customer is going to be willing to read. But when they walk into your booth in person, you're really making that connection with them, and you have the opportunity to conversationally share a lot about what makes your brand unique. For example, what makes your processes unique, what makes your materials superior, kind of what your creative process is like, why your technique is innovative. And so look at it that way, and that might help you feel more comfortable interacting with your customers. So another strategy that I use is I look at the craft show itself as a means to an end. I know that I prefer working by myself. I know that I love being in my home office in my studio all day. That doesn't bother me in the least. I actually enjoy just turning on some music, grabbing a cup of coffee, and sitting down to work, and knowing that there's not any social demands. So this is the environment that I strive to be in, and this environment is what my goal is. But if that means that a couple times a month I have to go out and put myself in a situation where maybe I'm not as comfortable, but it allows me the majority of the time to work in the environment where I am most happy and am most comfortable, that's a pretty good trade-off, I think. All this to say, it is not impossible to be successful as a business person, as a salesperson, as a handmade business owner, as someone who goes out and does craft shows and art fairs. It is possible to be very successful doing that while not having the natural tendency towards salesmanship or towards being extroverted. So craft shows are one of those things that after a certain amount of repetition, it just starts to become a little more natural for you. So yes, I still get exhausted. Yes, the social interaction is still kind of difficult for me, but I don't have the fear and the anxiety that I had about doing them in the past. That's always there a little bit when you're walking into a new show and the environment's unfamiliar and the processes are a little bit unfamiliar, but just get out there and do it. It's an excellent marketing tool for your business, one of the best that there is. Hey, thanks for watching, and make sure to find me on Facebook. You can look around or below this video to find the link to the Craft Fair Collective. Also, make sure to click and subscribe to this channel for more tips on how to make your craft show experience as positive and as profitable as can be. See you next time.